Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of An Experiment Called Life with Alex McKenzie. Right now, this is episode, 107 maybe, I'm guessing. It's probably a pretty good guess. And currently we are in Kinbasket Lake. It is like just south of Valemont, and we're doing a 14-day water fast. So today we are on day 6 of the 14-day water fast. That means that we are having nothing but water. We're not allowed chewing any gum, no tea, no coffee, no bone broth. The only thing we are taking for 14 days is water. And we're currently on day 6. We do take electrolytes, so like sodium, magnesium, potassium. Those are 3 things that I do take because I don't want to die. So I take those. And then, we're just on our way. Me and Finley, this is the 4th year that we've done this. And I always say it's my favorite time of year. Like, hands down, this is my favorite thing that I do every year. It's just so good, man. Like, it fixes everything all the time. So I wrote down, I meant to do this on day 1, but I was a little bit lazy. And now that the fast kicked in, I'm feeling focused. And so my intentions for the fast. Number 1 was, like, cleanse addictions. So, like, I find, like, I start caffeine. My caffeine intake starts out, I picture like a snowball rolling down a hill, or even with food, just any kind of like addiction, like, I don't know, I use the word addiction pretty loosely, I guess there, but I would consider myself an addict. Everything I do, I get addicted to. That's why I'm currently doing the whole year sober, and we're on day 200 something. We're getting close. September 14th right now, and we're almost through the whole year. But like caffeine. So caffeine is like another one. I'll have coffee every morning, and then I take pre-workout before the gym. And then I just start, then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll have an energy drink. And then eventually I'm waking up and I'm having an energy drink and a coffee. And I'm having like 3 energy drinks in a day and pre-workout and coffee. And you're just on 11 all day. And then you can't sleep. And I just find it like compounds and compounds till I get to a point where I'm like feeling major anxiety and I'm just gonna like have a breakdown. And so always picture the addiction as like a snowball rolling down a hill, you know? And like as it rolls more, it like gets bigger and bigger and gains more momentum and gets harder. And I find doing this fast is like stopping the snowball. You're like, okay, stop it. And then during the 14 days, you get to like chisel it away and break it down till it's just a little snowball again. And then you're like letting it go again and it's back on its way. And so I find this year, this time, doing this every year really, really helps. Now, something that's new for the fast this year that I've never done, I've always done it in Jasper and Banff. So that was, I was in campsites and you had water, you had power. So I could have hot showers every day. And there were other campers around, so you would see people. Out here, there's nothing. It's just me and Finley. We haven't seen another human in 6 days. We have no hot water. We do, but I'm like trying to conserve our water, so I'm not using it. We have only 1/3 of a tank left, even though we've only been drinking it between Finley and I and brushing our teeth. So I've been taking cold plunges in the lake every day, and those are the best. You never want to do them, but after you're done, it's so good. It's like the perfect example of like, you know, you don't want to do it, but you'll be glad you did after you've done it. Those have helped a lot. And all in all, feeling good. So we started at 214 pounds, 214.1, and we're at 203.1 right now. So down about 11 pounds, which is pretty good. And we've sold 140 tickets to the Hunger for Laughs tour. So we're also using this fast to promote the Hunger for Laughs tour, which is a variety act. It's a stand-up comedy show that I put together with me and some of my funniest friends from around the world. We've got people from Australia, Japan, and Canada on the tour this year. And they are coming to tell jokes for you. You're going to love it. But the goal with this fast is to sell 1,000 tickets. We've only sold 140 over 6 days. So we're not even close. So please tell your friends about the tour. We got to get it going. I might just have to fast until we sell 1,000. 30 days later is nothing. The other thing was nicotine was sneaking its way back into my life. So I started vaping like 2 months ago. And let me tell you, and vape, like, there's nothing better than a good vape, right? Like, you just suck on that thing, and you don't want to do anything else. It is like people always say, it's like the adult pacifier, you know? Just like a little soother. And it reminds me of chew. Like, I chewed for like 15 years, so nicotine has good claws in me. But, yeah, like, you could just do it all day, every day, wherever you are. Like, you wake up in the morning, you can just sit there and vape. You go to bed at night, you can sit there and vape. You know, I'm pretty sure you can vape in the shower. Figure it out. Underwater vaping, it's on its way. It's wild. And that's one thing that I do find, though. Nicotine is something that I really have to monitor. Because I think that, like, every time you take a puff on that vape, it gives you that dopamine. Like, first thing in the morning, you just the hammer on that thing. And then I have no desire to get out of bed. Like, that's another thing this fast does that's really good. It strips away all pleasure, like everything. So then the only time I am getting dopamine is when I like wake up and I do my journaling, or I work on my comedy, or grow my business, or go out and for a walk, or go do the cold plunge, or exercise, or, you know, some sort of like natural form of dopamine comes that way. But when you're taking, like, if you have the vape, like, you're getting the dopamine, so now you have no desire to get up and go and get it. And that is the thing that scares me the most. Like, when I was vaping, I didn't even want to get up and journal. Like, I didn't want to write jokes. I didn't want to post a TikTok or go do anything. And I don't know if it's just the way I'm wired or something, but like, that motivation is gone so fast when I'm getting nicotine. So I'm very excited that I'm quitting that right now before it gets too crazy. All right, another intention was to heal my heartbreak. So I had a heart like this, and then it went like this summer. Very sad, mans. And I just don't do good with them, man. I don't know. Like, you think I'd be good at rejection because I do comedy, and you've, like, you know, I've been booed off stage in front of 200 people. But it's like, I don't care about rejection from a random person. Like, if someone doesn't like me, or people on the internet, like, that doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't faze me. But like an intimate rejection, like when someone, they spend time with you and they get to know you and they see all your ins and outs in your life and who you are, and then they go, nah, you're kind of shit. Just don't want you here, you know? Like, my life would be better with you not in it, is what they're basically saying. And that hurts a lot. To me, I don't know. Some people seem to be really good at it. I don't. So I really, really struggle with it. So one of my intentions when I came out here is to spend these 2 weeks and just allow myself to, like, and I talked about this earlier in the year about grieving. Like, I think I really need to learn how to grieve. Like, I just have to learn how to grieve, because I think I just avoid it. Like, I just don't think about it, maybe. And I'm just like, okay, write more jokes, do more comedy, go to the gym more, play more video games, like, you know, perform. And you're just like not ever thinking about it. So I've really set aside a lot of time out here to just spend an hour a day sitting by the water and just thinking about, you know, your, I guess, shortcomings in relationship. It's weird because you're like, could I have done anything different? I don't know. I don't know if I could have. It does feel like it's just whatever, the way the cards are dealt, you know? But I think just allowing myself to be sad and to have some time to think about it really helps. And you know, one thing that always happens after I get really sad, after I do my cry, I find eventually I just end up back at comedy. Because you're like, well, it is pretty funny, you know? Like, I really think a good joke that's going to come on my next special is that relationships are like being on a seesaw. It's like two people on this thing having fun together, having a good time, and then one person decides, you know what, I'm not having fun anymore, I'm out of here. And they get off, and then the other person is very hurt because it is not fun being the last person off a seesaw. You know, you just come crashing down, you're just holding your balls. It's awful. So, anyway, I think humor is always the answer. So that's something that I'm trying to figure out. Another intention was to refocus on my comedy and myself. So, yeah, just getting back into, because lately, I don't know, I think I got a little depressy there the last month here in August. It was, I don't know, I haven't felt that down in a while. Probably July and August, probably honestly since the breakup, but it was like, I think it's because you're so high and then you just get so low, you know, and now you're just kind of getting back up there. But the vaping was a thing too. I picked that up in the relationship, and that was something that was probably leading to it as well, because like I said, it gave me no desire to get up and do anything. So like I didn't want to promote any shows. I don't know, I just like I don't want to write comedy, I don't want to do anything, I just want to lay here and be a sad sack. And now this fast is like fixing all of that. Like it's day 6 and I can feel the beast coming back, man. Like getting ready to get back on my ET stuff, 120 until the day I die. I feel that coming out, and yeah. So that's a good thing, refocusing on comedy and myself. And the last one was to promote the Hunger for Laughs tour. So tell your friends that we need to fix the tour. It's gotta start selling out. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I am so lonely. All right. Now, for the questions, probably a lot of people always have questions about fasting. How I got into water fasting was I was always a fat kid. So it started with that. I was always really overweight, and I had lost like 40 or 50 pounds 3 or more times in my life, only to have it come back every time. And I just remember the last time I was like, I'd lost a bunch of weight and I was just struggling. And I think this was during COVID. So I was at my parents' house and I just started, like, I was so hungry because I'd been trying to lose weight. And I started just like basically sleepwalking to my parents' kitchen. And I wasn't sleepwalking, like I was awake, but I was heading to go get peanut butter. And I was just telling myself the whole time, don't get it. You can't do this. Don't go and get the peanut butter. But I couldn't stop myself. I was just going. I was just like a man on a mission to get this peanut butter, obsessed. And I get there, and I remember just taking the lid off. And I'm like, don't, Alex, you can't. You've ate good all day. And then I remember I just took my bare hand, and I just started scooping peanut butter out and shoveling it into my face. And I just had tears crumbing down my face. And I was like, you're going to be fat forever. You're never going to shake this. And I was so sad. And so then I always think the solution to everything is knowledge. Knowledge is power. If you have more information, it makes it easier to make the right decision. So then I got a book called The Obesity Code, and it was by Jason Fung, Dr. Jason Fung. And he talked a lot about fasting and insulin resistance. Basically how insulin sets your body's set weight. I think it's set in your hypothalamus in your brain. And the level of insulin you have dictates that. But the level of insulin you have is a correlation to your insulin resistance. So we develop resistance over time because a lot of the time we're eating sugary foods as soon as we wake up and until we go to bed. So our insulin is high all day, so our body develops a resistance, so that eventually we need more insulin to get the same thing. And when you get more insulin, your brain is like, we have lots of insulin, grow! And it makes you a big fat boy, and it tries to set your body set weight higher. And that is also passed down genetically from our parents. That's why we're a lot more likely to look like our parents than even if like kids get adopted to a healthy family, they eat all healthy, they still tend to look more like their genetic parents. But yeah, and apparently the way to lower your sensitivity is fasting. So you can just not have any food coming in, so your insulin goes to nothing, and then your sensitivity goes down. And so that's how it started, was that. And then I read a book called Lifespan by David Sinclair, and it's all about aging and healthy living. And he really talks about getting your body into autophagy. So autophagy is just where your body starts cleaning out all of its senescent cells. And that is only done when you're in a fasted state, pretty much. And so fasting seems to do that. And it cleans out all, because your senescent cells, I guess at the end of your cell's life, they are supposed to perform a automatic suicide. Which is why I think it would be such a funny joke to be like, but what it is the cells are missing a protein that tells them so that they don't do that. They're missing a protein, so then they don't commit the suicide and they stick around forever. Then these senescent cells cause inflammation in the cells around them, and then they create a big dead pocket, and that's where disease can set in. So you want to get rid of these guys. That's why I think that joke I was going to say earlier, that I think is so funny, is like, are you missing a protein, bud? Because you should go kill yourself. But there's a lot of back knowledge you need to have for that joke to work. So anyway, the senescent cells build up, and this, going into autophagy, is one way that allows your body to get rid of them. So I think it's your sirtuins are the little workers that go around cleaning out your senescent cells, and your NAD is the enzyme that tells it what to do. And that's the other thing. At like the age of 50, we have half the level of NAD as we do at the age of 25. So we have the same amount of workers, but we don't have as many NAD, which is like the supervisors telling the workers what to do. So you got to get on that NAD precursor, son, some NMN, some NAD. Those things are supposed to be really good. But yeah, that was the other thing, is like once I heard about the autophagy and all of the stuff that that's doing, I thought it was really good. And then that's how I got into fasting. And now why do I do it? The biggest reason I would say is, like I mentioned earlier, that reset. It really does seem to like clean everything out and just make me feel so much better along the way, and it just sets me up for the rest of the year. But the big thing is like self-esteem. It's very, very hard to not eat for 14 days. Like, all I want to do is eat. Like, I am so hungry right now, dude. And I keep getting these HelloFresh ads. They're like, free breakfast for life if you sign up now. And it's the nicest looking breakfast, dude. They've got like avocado toast with a perfectly poached egg, and they're just cutting a knife into it, and the yolk is spilling out over the avocado. Oh my God, I want it so bad. But anyway, when you go 14 days without eating, or like just doing the thing that you said you're going to do, like nothing builds my self-esteem like this fast does. Because you go, hey man, here's a really hard thing that you said you would do, and you did it, and you kept that promise to yourself. And then you're like, well, what other things could you do if you really put your mind to it? And I find I come out of these fasts like supercharged, ready to go, very excited, and the little zest for life, and very much confidence in myself. So anyway, that's how it's going on day 6 of the fast. Today's our last day here. Tomorrow we're leaving and we're going to the Kakwa mountain range, and we're going to finish the second week there. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to fire them my way. I'll address them on the next fasting, my next podcast I'll do next week. And please go to hungerforlaughs.com, get some tickets, check out the show. If you're in an area or if you know anyone, that would mean the world to me. All right, well, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.